I listened to Barack Obama's chastisement of the titans of the financial services industry today at Cooper Union in Manhattan. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was my turn to mop the floors in the kitchen and the dining room. So gave me something to listen to and watch when I would float in and out of the kitchen, where I had a bucket of Murphy soap and water. And, once again, as he talked, I thought, wow, this man really knows how to put together a nice speech. Talks good. Talks better than any president in my time, except maybe Ronald Reagan. But, as I listened to what Obama was saying, I kept thinking to myself, what are the baggers and the Republicans and the conservatives and the Fox viewers doing while he's speaking? The ones who are watching and listening. Because number one, I'm sure they couldn't understand a thing he was saying. And number two, they were probably sitting there on their well-padded asses while Obama was giving his chastising talk and saying to themselves, yeah, but where's your birth certificate? Right? Because they are such doofuses. Well, I thought about that, for maybe 5 minutes and chuckled and went back to mopping the floor. But then, later on today, I started thinking, I hate to be the skunk at the picnic. But what did Barack Obama say today? He, he urged Goldman Sachs top leaders and other bandits, scum, committers of fraud. That room was filled with people who have been instrumental in ending the lives of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in this country. The people they didn't kill them, but they have put them into such financial horror that they'll never recover. This is just like what the Republican bastards did, including one of the Bush brothers, during the savings and loan debacle in the 80s. Here it is. It's all over again. Here it is. But as I was listening to Obama today in that room full of scum, swine, killers, destroyers of whatever dreams people may still have in this country, whatever realities they had. I listened to Obama, and I watched the thugs sitting in that room politely applauding when the applause lines came. And I thought, how many families have those bastards destroyed? How many families out there now will not be able to send their children to college? How many families have lost their homes, are on the verge of losing their homes? How many families have seen their 401ks turn into mush? How many families have watched everything taken away from them because of these predatory vampires sitting in that room with Barack Obama today while he issued a bunch of toothless platitudes about what they should do? And I couldn't believe it. Someone half listening would say, hey, who's that? Well, that's the president. Oh, yeah, who's he talking to? Oh, those bank bastards. Wow, man, he's really giving old Billy hell, isn't he? No, he wasn't. Obama urged these thugs, these highwaymen, these criminals to work with him. To work with him in passing the financial reform bill currently pending in the Senate. Have you read that? Have you seen a synopsis of it? Are you aware that there is no effective enforcement? These bastards can't go to jail. They can't be dismantled. They can't be stopped. Here's Barack Obama again asking for cooperation. He said, one of his comments, ultimately there is no dividing line between Main Street and Wall Street. We rise or fall together as one nation. Really? Is that what is going on? Well, while unemployment in this country is around 18%, while people have lost millions of jobs, and these predatory bastards on Wall Street have made billions. Billions! Mr. Obama, look at the first quarter profit being reported by these people. Look at how much was set aside for bonuses. Look at their paychecks. And then you're going to tell us that we rise and fall together? And that's when I about lost it. Just completely. There's my president. There he is. Now, in the meantime, the dumbass Republicans and conservatives and teabaggers and Newt Gingrich suckers and the rest of these swine and Boner and Mitch McConnell and the rest of these people, Republicans in the Senate, talking about, well, let's go back to the table and redo and blah, 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 blah. Speaking the usual right-wing gibberish nonsense that these pigs always speak, which renders them totally superfluous. It doesn't matter. This bill that's in the Senate will pass. And then what? He went on to say, I urge you to do so. Join in seeking to pass these common sense reforms. I urge you to do so, not only because it is in the interests of your industry, because it is in the interests of our country. The interests of our country. Compare that or contrast it to another presidential address to financial executives in New York, a few years removed from a similar financial crisis. This president said, quote, "We had to struggle with the old enemies of peace: business and financial monopoly, speculation, reckless banking, class antagonism, sectionalism, war profiteering. They had begun to consider the government of the United States as a mere appendage to their own affairs. We know now that government by organized money is just as dangerous as government by organized mob. Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred." End quote. Yeah, that was Roosevelt. In a 1936 speech, he was running for re-election. We had to struggle with the old enemies of peace: business and financial monopoly, business speculation, reckless banking, class antagonism, war profiteering. What did Barack Obama say today? Ultimately, there's no dividing line between Main Street and Wall Street. We rise or fall together as one nation. So I urge you to join me, to join those who are seeking to pass these common sense reforms. And I urge you to do so not only because it is in the interest of your industry, but because it's in the interest of our country. And they applauded. And Obama looked like a stern college professor addressing a bunch of unruly, dope-smoking students. It is essential, the president said, that we learn the lessons of this crisis so we don't doom ourselves to repeat it. Blah, 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 blah. You know, I think Barack Obama's a nice guy. He certainly has made history. But what he's talking about here is forming a partnership with the people who have raped and pillaged the country.